Yes. Let's go. All right. Let's go over to the Fire Emblem announcement. Fire Emblem is coming west. It was already on the Japanese Nintendo Switch online service that they had. They had added 2 Fire Emblem games, I think, right? Or did they have 3 on there? I thought they just had 2. Did they have 3?
I thought they only just have that one for like the Nintendo Switch Online in Japan.
Yeah, Switch Online. Did they just have one? They just have this one?
Just have one, unless I can look it up.
Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. They did a remake for this already on the DS, but from what I heard, the one on the DS, not as many people liked as much as the original one, I guess, or there were some alterations to it that people were like not as sold on. But they are bringing this one west. It's going to be $6 digitally. Appears to be a timed release, so I guess at the end of March, the end of their fiscal year, they will pull it from the eShop, which is interesting. And then they also have the Fire Emblem 30th Anniversary Collection, and it is it's actually a pretty good package of different things, which includes big art book. They have a really cool looking replica game pack that looks neat, and they did a Nintendo Power collectible too. That's supposed to be $50, however, it sold out. Like, I don't know. I didn't even see it go in stock. It just sold out immediately.
Dude, I literally had it in my cart, and it pulled the rug out from underneath me. It was just like, it's not in your cart anymore. Like, Best Buy.
That's good thing it's limited. I love limited things. It's so nice.
People hit it really hard. Like they hit the page. It reminds me of the RTX 3080 MVG, because it was one of those things where I was there and I was like, all right, it's gonna go live, and then just immediately went sold out. I never saw the pre-order button.
Honestly, I didn't even bother. There's no physical game with it, so
that is weird to me. You know what's crazy? It's up on eBay. It's being resold for like $150 to $200, somewhere in there usually. Some of the descriptions say they took the game. They're going to take the digital code out and you just get all the stuff with it.
What?
That's so dumb.
That's weird.
Isn't that funny?
$150. Give me the damn game.
I mean, I guess the game's $6, so it's like, why are you even taking that out? I don't get it. It's like, just leave it sealed, because that means they have to open it, take it out, right?
Yeah.
They're banking on it being like not there being any restocks or anything like that, and people just rushing to get it.
It would be really funny if there was a whole wave of restocks, but if there's not for Christmas, then I guess they'll probably sell most of them for $150. I see them selling. People are bidding them up to $150 something. Are
they trolls though?
I mean, it's like 26 bids from 15 different eBay accounts on this one. So like, it appears that people are actually buying them for that price.
I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan, but I would not do it.
I'm thinking it's because, I mean, it's Fire Emblem, and it's not like one of their top tier IPs. It's not like Mario or Zelda or anything like that. So maybe people are concerned that they won't do as much in terms of restocks for this, and that they'll just maybe they'll throw a few more out there, and they'll kind of move along. That might be the concern for people and why they're buying these.
Look at the old Fire Emblem, like the GameCube version. I mean, that's very expensive to buy. So I think this will kind of fall in the same. Well, I think people are worried it's going to fall into the same type of model where 5, 7, 10 years from now, if you own one of those things and you want it, you're going to be paying a lot of money for it.
Let me look at sold listings. Yeah, 150, 138. Jeez. Yeah, people are buying them. 163.
It's big money.
I mean, it has the that kind of fans that would pay big money for these kind of things to make sure they get them.
But I'm a big fan, but I'm not gonna pay it.
Well, I mean, I would just see if they do restock in like January or February, because obviously you can get the game. And let's be real, most people who buy this are probably just gonna leave it sealed, I assume.
Yeah, and just spend $6 on the digital one, right?
Yeah.
How much is it originally?
50.
Oh, for the bundle.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy because we were just talking about, we had that question a couple weeks back, about the future of like all digital and physical. And we had just been talking about like the only thing you're probably going to get that's physical is the actual bundle itself. And then you're just going to get a game code with it. And
yes,
I feel like this is kind of like one of the first ones that we've seen.
We're kind of seeing like we've seen that with like
controversy.
Yeah, we saw that with like Youngblood did that. It was a $30 thing, and it was a box with a code in it. Yeah. There's a bunch of Switch ones like that, but this is obviously one from Nintendo, and it's a special edition. And I think it was Ubisoft that said they were going to start doing that with their Xbox games, and people were annoyed about that for their special editions. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's one of those releases where like, it's Fire Emblem, it's a Famicom game. It's like, we'll make the pack really cool, and we'll just slip a little code in there.
They on the PS4, they brought out Battle Garaga, which is a excellent Japanese shooter, and it came out on the Saturn years and years ago, and it's very expensive. So they brought it out for the PS4, and it was a really nice collector's edition box, big box game, but it didn't have the game inside of the actual packaging, and it really annoyed people. So they ended up like bringing out the game later on physically anyway, just as a single disc, which was interesting. But maybe they'll do the same thing here. But it's definitely something that's happened before. This is not like anything new, really. It's definitely happened before.
Let's go over to our collector's edition aficionado here, Jordan. Have you had any collector's editions come in recently that just have codes in them?
Not recently.
Okay.
I think the last big one was the Halo 5 controversy, where you get the Steelbook and you open the Steelbook and there's a code inside of it.
Yes.
That was
I know Fallout 76 did that too, right? That was a code, I think, right?
There was a Steelbook in there, but I can't remember if it was a code inside or the disc was inside. I'm pretty sure there was a disc that came with it.
Oh, because I remember one of them, the disc was just a piece of paper with a code on it. So
I've seen computer games sold like that, like recent ones. Like you can go buy like a computer game, physically open it up, and there's a disc shaped like paper piece, so you rip it out, and it's like, oh, here's your code.
Yeah,
I can go take a look and see if the Fallout one has the actual.
I thought it was.
I've never put that in my console ever since the day I got. I've never played the game.
Really?
Nope, I refuse.
Wow, interesting.
I just wanted the crappy helmet.
Good news, it's probably going to go to Game Pass, so you can just download it.
Yeah, I still wouldn't do it.
And that'll
Isn't that
probably
the helmet
be
that molded.
No, that was the second one they made later on that was sold separately with different paint on it.
Gosh, that game is yeah.
Yikes!
Hey, maybe that game will see a resurgence when it gets added to Game Pass next year.
I'm gonna go take a look. See if there's a
Okay.
I bought
cool.
I bought 2 copies of it. I still feel bad that I bought 2 separate full-priced copies of Fallout 76.
I mean, I remember I think it was Black Friday time at GameStop where they did the buy 2 get 3rd free at used games, and like the only thing I found that was cheap enough was that, and I still had to think about it. I was like, I don't know. This is like it takes up space, and I don't know. So that's really.
We were talking about regrets. I was going to tell you, I finally got my Game Gear Micro as well. Oh no, what a regret! I paid $80 on eBay, and I absolutely feel like I got ripped off.
Yeah, I got it on Amazon Japan, and it was like 60 something, I think, after shipping and like the conversion rate. But it's not worth buying. No, that's the D-pad on that thing is sad.
It's like, it looks like it's gonna pop off.
Yeah, it is really bad. Okay, so Fire Emblem coming out. I'm gonna grab it December 4th at $6. I'll probably just stick to that, and what I'll do is I'll see if they have a restock on that collector's edition towards the end of when it's supposed to all be discontinued at the end of March. But MVG, what's the word on this whole thing with these scripts that I'm hearing about?
So Nerd has most likely done this as they've done with the 3D All-Stars collection and the Nintendo Switch Online stuff. So essentially what they're doing is the translation. When you get a game that's from an old system like the NES or the Super NES, and you want to do a translation patch, in the old days, essentially you would just do ROM hacking where you would literally, painstakingly replace the text, one to one, which was a very time-consuming process. So what they've done with this one is they're using scripts, basically. So they've come up with a very easy way. It's called Lua scripts, where essentially it just injects a new language into the game, and it also adds other quality of life enhancements as well. There's like a custom menu that you saw as well. So it's a pretty ingenious way, and I think it's probably the first of more to come as far as what we'll see with these older games coming back either via Nintendo Switch Online, or whether they start to have these single collector's edition releases, we'll call them, or maybe next year with the Legend of Zelda stuff, they'll come up with some stuff there as well. So it's pretty interesting to see them going down this path. And I don't want to plug my channel too much, but I've got a video coming out on Monday which goes into a lot more technical.
That's why I brought it up, because I knew you were going to go into it.
Yeah, about how it all works and what Nintendo's approach has been to doing these games. But I think it's interesting. I like it. I mean, the downside of going down the scripting path is it means that features like widescreen and 60 frames per second kind of get taken off the table, and that's why Mario 64 didn't get those enhancements. But the way that they're approaching this, I think it's pretty smart, and I want to definitely see where they take this.
It'll help for more output, though. Like they'll be able to do it a bit easier than like if they try to do it from not scratch, but like went more into it. Okay, so they could, because Zelda's out next That's the anniversary. I almost wonder if they would try to do the ancient stone tablets from the Satellaview.
I mean, they could, and that's the thing. The possibilities here are pretty big as far as what they could potentially bring. Like you said, they could bring the Satellaview stuff to the Legend of Zelda stuff next year. But I think the other thing to keep in mind is when they're writing these scripts and they're injecting these scripts into the ROM itself is not being changed and altered in any way. So for the people that are basically, leaking the game and downloading it and trying to run the ROM on an emulator outside of the Switch, they're not going to get those enhanced. They're not going to get those changes. So,
interesting.
I think that's one of the reasons why Nintendo went down that path, because they don't want to change the ROM itself, so that ROM doesn't then get used on other emulators outside of the Switch that they obviously
that makes sense. Yeah.
So I think it's more than just for convenience. I think they're doing this to also protect their IP as well.
Jordan, you look at that Fallout.
Yeah, there was an actual disc.
There was. Okay, cool. So we got confirmation of that. Very good. So I'm looking forward to the ideas from that, because I feel like there's some stuff that could make its way over. That you think that would work for Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy,
and 64. I think Oatmeal Dome actually tweeted this the other day, but it's everything up to Nintendo 64. They have the ability to add those scripts in, but the GameCube and the Wii stuff does not have the scripting stuff.
Would that include Game Boy Advance?
Yes.
Aha! All right, good. We're on to something here. Okay, cool. Get ready. This will be fun. Okay, cool. We'll get into this.
So now there's all this speculation about what Nintendo will do next, as far as are they going to how they will evolve the Nintendo Switch Online. And I think, look, ultimately they can take this a number of different ways. They could potentially give us Game Boy Advance and 64, next year. I think, there's been rumors about that for a while now, but it seems like they got all the technology in place. And I think, it's really now up to them to decide if they want to start to utilize it. And hopefully they will.
All right. Let's just cut to the chase. Mother 3.
Oh, God. That's never coming out. Come on.
Look, they can inject stuff now, apparently. Okay.
I don't know. Why don't you ask Reggie?
They can inject it with strychnine and just kill it off forever. I think
Whoa!
What they're gonna do.
They got to bring it over here. It's got to be a 4-month limited release, obviously.
Obviously,
I just can't see Mother 3 coming here. I mean, it's just one of those games that it just won't translate well, to the US.
Of course it won't, but I gotta see it. I gotta see it happen. I want to see Twitter react to that game. Mostly because I know like 90% of the people asking for it to come over have not played it yet. Mm-hmm. And I want to see how opinion changes about the game when they do finally play it. Yeah. That's what I want to see.
I feel like a lot of people are not even going to play it, to be honest.
There's that fantastic.
Let's bring it over then.
I know
that hard drive, the spoof site hard drive. They have all the great headlines, and it says, "Guy whose favorite game is Earthbound finally sits down to play it." And I've always loved that headline.
Yeah, that was good. That one was really good.
I've seen people change it for Persona. Like giant Persona fan finally plays Persona.
Look, if Nintendo's got to do it, put an M rating on it. All right, bring it over. Drop the M rating. I don't care. Just bring it over. I mean, they're never going to, because they don't want to deal with that publicity. I get it, but
yeah, I mean, there's some Japanese only games that they could potentially bring over and add translations to as well. I mean, it's definitely interesting to see where they'll take this. Hopefully, Nintendo won't sit on this and actually, give the fans what they're looking for. But we'll see. I mean, it's one of those things that they have up their sleeve, and look, next year seems like, I know we're going to talk about 2021, but next year seems like a very, very busy year for them as far as new releases. So maybe they'll sit on this a little bit longer. Hopefully they won't, though.
Okay, and we do have it's gonna go away, like I said, at the end of March. Does anyone else think that it's just gonna be added into the Nintendo Switch Online service in 4 months? After that, so towards the end of next year, you don't think it's going to go into you don't think Fire Emblem is just going to end up in Nintendo Switch Online service?
If you go back and look at Virtual Console and some of the things they've done and never brought back, I feel like I give it 50-50 whether it will out of the Virtual Console.
Fair enough.
I kind of think they will, just because I believe this one already exists in the Japanese Nintendo Switch Online. So I feel like they might just be like, yeah, throw it in the American one as well. I almost thought they would be like they're getting their money back for spending time either building this tool or localizing it. They're just putting $6 on it. We'll sell it for 4 months. we'll get our money back and then we'll just drop it on this service. That's just kind of the way I was looking at it. But there is a chance it just never comes back. Sure, that is also possible. What do you think, Nate?
No, I don't think it comes back.
What? Really, man?
Yeah, if you go back and look at some of the things that they have had on limited edition on Virtual Console in the past, I'm not saying it's a overwhelming large percentage, but they've done this before, and this one feels like it's one of those limited edition games that just, if you miss out, you miss out. You've got till March 31st at $6, so there's really no reason if you want to play the game to pick it up. But I just feel like once this is done, it's done.
Well, these people selling on eBay then should be holding these games for longer then.
Yep.
They should be holding them till like next Christmas.
Am I the only one? I'm not buying it. Is anybody else not buying it? Is everybody else buying it?
I'm buying it. It's $6.
Well,
I kind of want to check it out from a technical perspective to see what's going on with the scripting stuff. I'll buy the digital version for $6, but I mean, I'm not interested in the digital version. Sorry, the physical version.
Yeah, well, I mean, the physical version is just going to be the code anyway. I mean, honestly, if I just see it out there, like if I see it pop up on like Best Buy or something for the actual $50 at one point, I might do it just to be like, we'll leave it sealed, we'll get it. But I probably won't spend like $100-something on it personally.
Well, the funny thing with the collector's edition is going to be if you open it and you find the digital code expires on March 31st, 2021.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good put. Wait a minute. Can you? No, you can still. I bet you can still redeem that code.
Yeah,
maybe.
You have expirations on these codes, so they could, if they wanted to, set that as the date.
It'll probably be set as like 2099 or something like that.
We can hope, but if it is set to March 31st, 2021,
that would be the craziest.
You're gonna make people more paranoid, dude.
But if we all leave it sealed, how will we know?
Everyone's gonna open it.
Everyone's gonna open it and be like, "Does this expire? Shit, I have to sell it."
Usually digital codes, whatever they come in with their video games or movies, they have a minimum of 1 year and usually are between 2 and 5 at the longest, but usually a minimum of 1 year from the date it comes out.
Well, I mean, basically we have to wait for the eShop to get shut down or something to, I assume, not be able to redeem it. That would be wild if you open it up and it was like, March. Great.
We'll find out on December 4th when someone opens the collector's edition.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get a full unboxing, I'm sure, for it all. That'll be interesting to see.
But if that's the case, it'll be hilarious.
No way, that would be good.
The resale value. Why would they open their limited edition up?
Because somebody's going to.
They'll display it. They want to check out the art book and all that.
Yeah, they want to read that Nintendo power.
They want to smell it and be like, oh, it smells like Reggie.